Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. The Nightlord is one of the most played classes at higher levels, by far actually. Only Coninck got this class beat, but who still plays Coninck? After the nerfs that class received a while back, I think there's barely any Coninck mains left. But what makes Nightlord so successful that it is played so much at a higher level by so many Maplers? That's what we intend to find out today in why everyone plays Nightlord. Nightlord does have the advantage that it was one of the first classes in the game, so all the old school Maplers picked up the class before the newer ones were even released. Nightlord always was regarded as overpowered, with high base damage and cool looking skills. The meta back then was to be a Dex's assassin, and they were the staple of the early days in MapleStory. The Nightlord also received plenty of revamps and remasters over the years, and it never lost its place in the meta. It was always known as a glass cannon with crazy good burst, but you needed to have the hands to survive as it had no invincibility frames or that many safety tools. But the Destiny update did add a proper up jump to their skill repertoire and gave the class an additional dash, making it even more mobile to dodge whatever the boss monsters are throwing at you. But before we continue exploring why the Nightlord is such a popular class, I first want to talk a bit about today's video sponsor, Awesome. Your support is always greatly appreciated. I personally actually really like Awesome because their product kept me sane while I was stuck in the airport traveling to Maplefest last year. I've been using it for a while already. Awesome is a remote software tool where you can connect your phone to your desktop and remote control it from your phone. This allowed me to do my dailies and log in for events without having to be at my desk. I still use it to this day to log in for login events and for running Monster Park when I'm away from home or just doing my dailies. I'm using the game version because with this version I can create a custom keyboard so I can actually play MapleStory on the go. Even the more button intense classes, you can edit your buttons or layout on the fly to suit your playstyle, and in case you want to switch games, there actually are some presets already pre-made for most popular games. Awesome has different plans available. The free plan covers remote desktop and files, the pro version contains Android devices support and remote CMD, and the game version that I'm using allows for way better controls while gaming and the custom setups that I showed. They also have other useful tools like this smart plug that allows you to safely turn off your computer from a distance once you're done. There also are some hot sales going on. Get 40% off with the Pro and Game versions, 20% off for 2 devices and 40% off for 3 devices or more. And if you're not convinced yet, you can use the code appearing on the screen right now to get a free 7-day trial of Awesome Remote Game, the full version, the biggest one. This is only for the first 200 people that use the code though, so act quickly. Head over to the Awesome website, click on rewards, sign in, and that's it, you're in. You can then easily set up your screen mirroring with your QR code. There is a link in the video description and top comment where to go. Again, many thanks to Awesome for sponsoring today's video, and now back to the Nightlord. Bossing with this class is what makes it so popular. It has really good burst damage and it can melt through any boss with ease. They're off burst though when everything is on cooldown. That's a different story, but the Nightlord is not about that. The Nightlord is all about dealing a crazy amount of damage in a short time window. But funny enough though, they are getting buffed slightly in the upcoming Savior update. So yay for more damage, I guess. Not sure why they're getting buffed. I thought they were pretty strong already. But hey, here we are. Thanks to Nightlords, their passive skills, they have by nature a very high critical rate, they get a 30% critical damage buff, and they have 2 very powerful debuffs. Their Frailty Curse, when buffed up with their passive hyper skills, reduces bosses their defense and attack by 40%, as well as their move speed. That's a super powerful debuff, especially when you're low on IED. And to make things even easier for this class, their Showdown skill makes monsters untouchable, meaning that they no longer deal any damage when you get nice and physical with them, no more touch damage. This debuff is very powerful and actually sought out in endgame bosses, because it removes one of the damage sources that the boss has. Thanks to all these debuffs and passive boosts, they don't really need a lot to get going. When the Destiny update was released, this character was already clearing kills through the Abyss in 5 days on a fresh account, without much of any Legion or Link skills. Check back season 2 of my Zero to Hero video series if you want to see how I did that. Survivability though is supposed to be an issue for this class, since it is a glass cannon and all. But actually, it isn't. Being a thief class, the Nightlord has access to the Dark Side skill, which allows you to dodge any debris falling from the sky during boss battles. It even dodges some of the damage over time effect, like Chaos Queen her flame debuff. Dark Side is super useful, and it makes this class able to survive a lot of the boss attacks with ease, or at least a lot of the stuff falling down from the ceiling. I always thought that Dark Side was sorta like, yeah, it's there, it's like an old school thing. But only after playing this class, because I never played Thief classes, I really realized Darkside is freaking busted. The Fidge Thief skill Shadow Walker then also allows you to stay in Darkside for a while and allows you to keep attacking. Normally if you attack, you get out of Darkside, but with this Fidge skill active, you don't. You can just keep attacking, keep throwing your stars while passively dodging all the stuff that's falling down, making it a lot harder to get interrupted during your burst. It's a must get for this class and helps a ton getting your burst off. Plus nowadays there are actually ways to get invincibility frames with special rings that can be obtained from the Stellar Detectives PQ. That one does come with the added downside, you can only move in one direction when you activate it, but still, for the people with less experience bossing, there are ways to get invincibility frames on this class, if not from your party members. There also is this one skill that you can get from the Mushroom Shrine. It works only against some boss attacks, it blocks those out, as I found out once I got it. I think it blocks the same things as Bishop's Holy Shell, if that helps. So the class is a glass cannon, but not really with the right setup. And when we're talking about mobbing, this class isn't exactly bad either. Their showdown skill increases EXP earned and drop rate by 5% and by 10% if the skill is boosted with your hyper skills. The amount of hits aren't that crazy though, but Nightlords are a projectile class. Their Nightlord's mark pops out throwing stars with a certain chance when you hit enemies, and Showdown also summons additional shurikens. Plus Showdown itself deals 200% additional damage to normal monsters. This combined with their Fidget skills like Shuriken, Dark Lord's Omen and Throw Blasting make grinding pretty solid once you find a nice rotation. And of course with the newly improved Air Dash Shower, things are even better now. Nightlords do need a bit more nodes and funding before their mobbing becomes like really good. Like maxed out Nightlords marks helps a lot, but overall their nodes aren't too bad, you don't need that many skills. And when you're grinding you only need to maintain Shadow Partner, Maple Warrior and their hyper skill buffs. So you can spend just most of your time throwing stars, the class is really simple nowadays. Picking up this class is not difficult at all, and if you do pick it up it will only get better over time as you get more nodes and more stats. For example, this character right now has 16k stats and my Assassin's Mark node is max level, Showdown is level 44. So the future of this class is looking bright with upcoming buffs, but they have to be careful because the Dawn Warrior is slowly overtaking this class as the #1 most played class in MapleStory Global currently. Maybe the future buffs will make the Nightlord played a bit more though, time will tell. But that's all that I could figure out why this class is played so much. Awesome bossing, there are items and special skills that you can get to cover their weaknesses, and their mobbing is pretty good as well and will only get better over time as you get more stats and more nodes. What do you think of the Nightlord class yourself? Let me know in the comments. And as always, many thanks to our members for making these videos possible. Special thanks to Niels de Coninck, Raar maar waar, Sebastian Hanoy, Ryalias, Terry Kim, Vareese, Mora, Wiley, Historycanon, BackSpaceOTI, Saffronyx, Ziggy Deer, Flidiot, Knifesu, Cloudfix, Gussus Rodriguez, Digby, Vira, Trevor, Michael Menchaca, Ratius, Justin Vale, Silvio Nato, Afterlord_MS, Striker Elk, Tide1 Pun, Radical Jaws, Riser Are Sir Tito 655, Mathias Simonsson, PC Game Life, The Passenger, Martin Panzik, Conrad Crystallis, Ace Light, Mr. Narc, Ben Wolf, Max Bernhardt, Muka 1017, BNB King, Scotty Flies Fast, Priscilla, Brendon Cam, Vake Botnet, Feko, Victor Sundstrom, ceemak, Only, Rashid Al-Harudi, Galando Belavia, Gianfranco, Calderon Canavedo, Lucky Beats, Matthew Def, Gummy Bullet, Lord Fazil, Spats D. Kaiser, Zunnen, That Archie Guy, Grogo, Gabriel Eck, Louis, Bento Brandao, and Dante Victory. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and happy mapling.